What's up, guys? Namco and Dustin here, Fantasy Smack Talk. And in this show, we're going to be talking about the wire, answer some forum questions as the fantasy baseball playoffs are just right around the corner. But before we get into that, football, it's basically here. We got all of our rankings up. We got our cheat sheet. We're on iTunes. You can follow us on Twitter at Fantasy Advice. A lot of crazy things going on. And don't forget to get into our NFL Weekly Pick'em and Survivor contest. So log in onto our site and sign up now.
All right, let's get into the wire. And at this time of the season, we think it's a good idea to ride out hot streaks, maybe drop some guys that just underperformed all year. Go ahead, drop those guys, ride out some hot streaks. And let's talk about some of these guys that are on some hot streaks. We start with a couple speedster outfielders, Juan Pierre and Coco Crisp. Pierre's owning 70% of leagues, Coco Crisp owning 35%. Both these guys batting well over 300 with a ton of speed. Both of them in the last month have 12 plus stolen bases. We really like these guys down the stretch. Another guy we like is Jose Tabata out there with Pittsburgh, only owning 20% of leagues. There's a chance he definitely cools back off, but as of now in the last month, he's batting over 350 and he's thrown in a few bags. Next, we got an old man in Manny Ramirez, only owning 80% of leagues. He's on the waivers. He's on waivers in real baseball. And it looks like he's going to get picked up by a contender. When he's been healthy, he's put up great numbers. If he's available in your league, you might want to think about picking him up. He could have an impact down the stretch. And also, don't forget about Miguel Montero and Gordon Beckham.
Pick them up already.
We're not going to bore you with numbers, but if you need help in those positions, we think they have good ends of seasons as well.
Now, two other guys that are great positional ads right now is Chris Johnson of Houston playing third base and Carlos Ruiz of the Philadelphia Phillies playing catcher. Both more shallow positions, both only owning 50% of leagues, and both have batted over 340 in the last month, had 4 home runs and about 20 RBIs. If you need help at either position, these are two great ads. Now let's move into those pitchers you should be looking to add, and the first one's Ted Lilly.
The old man.
Old man only owned in 75% of leagues, but in his last month, he's had 4 wins and a 1.07 ERA.
It's pretty good.
Obviously pretty good. Next, we have Sanchez of the Florida Marlins, only owned in 45% of leagues. Also been pretty good in the last month. In his last 5 starts, he has a 1.64 ERA. So again, just like Lilly, very quality. And last, we're going to talk about Brandon Line, the relief pitcher for the Houston Astros. He's only owned in 35% of leagues. He got the job because Lindstrom went on the DL, but it's not really Lindstrom's job to get back when he comes off. He was really struggling before going in, and since Line took over, he's already converted 6 save opportunities. So if you need saves, he's a great guy to add. All right, Dustin, let's get into those forums. The first question comes from Sports Girl. She has Jeremy Hellickson, and she wants to know, should she drop him because he got sent back down to the minors?
Well, we were really hoping that Hellickson was going to find that or keep that starting rotation job. He's been pitching so well. We talked about him each of the last 2 weeks, but Wade Davis and Jeff Neiman came off the DL. They just don't have room for him. We do think Hellickson will get called back up at some point, but will probably be coming out of the bullpen unless there's another injury to a guy in the starting rotation. So, yeah, probably go ahead and drop him, but he's definitely a guy to keep on your radar for next year. We think he will be in the starting rotation and could be a good young pitcher next year. All right, Brent, we got one from Dirty D. He needs to drop somebody. He's got a guy he wants on the waiver wire. Who should he drop, Aaron Hill or Adam Lind?
Oh, yeah. 2 big disappointments this year, and this is exactly what Dustin was talking about earlier in the show. Don't be, at this point in the season, they're not going to bounce back. Don't be afraid to drop guys you might have drafted a little bit higher that just haven't panned out to pick up, another guy that's having a hot streak right now. So out of these two, they're both, certainly droppable. Lynn's been playing a little bit better as of late, and Hill has just been garbage all year. I know second base is tough to fill, but drop Hill out of this bunch.
So that's it for this week's show. As always, get into our forums, check out our games, follow us on Twitter at Fantasy Advice, iTunes, YouTube,
it's crazy.
Everything. Get into those football rankings. I'm Dustin, this is Brent. We'll see you next time.